The next section is the ugly section. It's so bad, I legally have to give you a warning.
Warning. The netcritic.com is not responsible for any bleeding out of your eyes, ears, or brain, as well as the raping of your childhood, or lack thereof. Continue at your own risk.
Okay, so now that the lawyer's off my back, I only feel it's proper to slowly work you into this. So here's an example of the weirdness.
Pickle surprise! Pickle surprise!
Now that we've established the standard for weirdness, let's add weirdness and content to give you the whole clusterfuck of ugly.
Vacuum cleaner bin kick over. That's right. And then you go... That's it. Rated R.
Yes, overly sexual and inappropriate things that should never exist. Prime example, Winnie the Pooh porn. Yes, I said that with a straight face. Oh yes, Winnie the Pooh, that bear that warmed our childhood. Luckily, we're spared a graphic description of him in an inappropriate manner. This fanfic focused on his good friend, Christopher Robin. Yes, because writing about child molestation is much better than bestiality, right? Right? Basically, the writer turns Winnie the Pooh into something out of Grand Theft Auto. It starts with what we can only assume to be our self-inserted character picking up lorazepam from Pooh Bear, who's now a drug dealer? Then, this character describes her relationship. She says, and I quote, "I'm nobody's bitch but Christopher Robin's." Well, that was about as subtle as a moving train. After this conversation, it describes the other residents of the 100-acre wood in this interesting lifestyle. What kills me is what happens to Kanga. She really whores herself to support Rue, and dies by a random street gang. Life must be tough in the 100-acre wood. You have birds singing, sun shining, random acts of street violence. Following these character descriptions, our main character finally gets to her beloved Christopher Robin, and they share their love. There's no better way to show your affection like plotting the death of your partner's parents. But I didn't get you anything. Then she proceeds to help him with his 100-acre wood. The next fanfic we have completely obliterates one of the most popular video game series ever known, The Legend of Zelda. So, here we go, Zelda fans, pucker up, because here comes the finger. The story begins with the Triforce being locked in a tower? What is this, Tripunzel? We find out that Zelda's keeping the Triforce captive so it can continue to power the machines of Hyrule. Wait. Number 1. What? 2. You're the Triforce. You're the most honored thing in all of Hyrule. 3. Why don't you just smite a bitch? You're the most powerful thing. You could just look at her funny and kill her! Anyway, Zelda comes in and turns to bitchy McPMS and physically abuses the Triforce. Somehow. After doing so, she drops her keys. This allows the Triforce to escape. Again, you're the Triforce. You're a sacred relic that belonged to 3 goddesses. You can grant wishes to anyone. Why don't you just teleport out of the tower? So, the Triforce uses the keys to unlock the window and fly out of the tower. I'm not going to say anything. Then, 2 weeks later, yada yada yada, the Triforce is in an inn with Link. Then the Triforce compliments Link on his new clothing. Judging in the trend of fanfiction I've read so far, I'm gonna guess, yep, they're having sex. You can't be serious. Everyone knows if you take a cylindrical object and a triangular hole, it just doesn't work. We learned this when we were like 2. Speaking of 2-year-olds, you have to be one to understand the next fanfiction. It's so bad, it's worse than My Immortal. Granted, My Immortal was written by a troll, but that's beside the point. Let's look at the ingredients of this terrible fanfiction. Let's take a look at this recipe. It's the recipe for the worst fanfic of all time. First, you take a cup of America's current favorite female singer. Then you add a dash of Music's Three Stooges. Then you add a bunch of third-grade grammar. I mean, here's all the missing punctuation. And finally, you need to add a gallon of Mary Sue. But if you're out of Mary Sue, you can just add, some mayonnaise. And you can't stir this concoction. You actually have to swirl it around. You have to keep it in its natural environment. So, all you need to do is just bake it on 350. And you're done. We begin with the most ridiculous concept for a story I've ever heard. Our main character, Raina, is the daughter of Justin Bieber. Huh, I didn't think he had the ovaries for that one. Oh, and her uncles are Nick and Joe Jonas. I think mixing those gene pools are an insult to the Jonases. The rest of the story involves Joe Jonas sexually abusing Raina via fisting, and Nick Jonas apparently being in love with her. Well, you know what they say, incest is the game the whole family can play. By the way, I neglected to mention that her boyfriend is also Taylor Lautner. After every bad fanfic I read, I was thinking, God, it couldn't get any worse. But this one takes the cake. It goes into territory that even M. Night Shyamalan wouldn't touch. I don't even know where to start with this. Number 1, the main character makes Lindsay Lohan look intelligent. 2, you think I was kidding when I said it had the grammar of a 3rd grader? No, I wasn't joking. Let's look at a couple sentences of this piece of crap. Hi, I'm Raina Bieber. I know what you're thinking. That you were dropped on your head? OMJB. Oh my, Justin Bieber? Really? You're Justin Bieber's wife. No, I'm his daughter. My mother's Brooke. I'm 16. I never passed the 3rd grade. My Uncle Nick is awesome. He's my fave uncle. I have to be honest with you folks. I literally spent an hour trying to write a response to this, but I couldn't do it. It broke me. Nothing I could say could show the amount of contempt I have for this. It makes me so angry, I want to take a kitten and punch a baby with it. It's really that bad. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm the Net Critic, your one-stop shop for reaction shots.
Sir, that last fanfiction appears to have given him a heart attack.
Looks like he had a case of Bieber fever.